A couple years ago, I went to a writers' conference where author Shannon Hill was one of the presenters, and she shared an experience to us about her recent book tour where she was going around to different elementary schools and talking about reading and her book. And every time she would go to an auditorium, she'd look out into the audience of young faces, and every time it was all girls. And when she would talk to the staff about why the boys weren't there, they always said because it was a girl book, they only invited the girls. And when Shannon talked to other authors that were males or authors that had protagonists in the books that were boys, everybody was there, boys and girls. And this just didn't seem to sit right with her. And it kind of illustrates how we as adults are perpetuating an unhealthy gender bias in children's literature. And she felt like this was sending messages that, girls aren't as important as boys and boys shouldn't care about girl things, which reinforces these stereotypes and can reinforce gender roles if that's what the book is reinforcing. What's sad is that the book that she had been talking about to all these girls was a book where the main character went around fighting monsters, which is a topic that many boys would probably have been very interested in. Research has actually shown this, that kids do not care if the main character is a boy or a girl. They care about the story. They care if it's a good book. I have that experience as a mom of 3 boys. I have read books of all sorts of gender characters to them, where main characters are girls or main characters are boys or animals. And they did not care if we read a book where the main character was a girl. They cared if the story was exciting to them and had action, which is what boys tend to care a little more about, which was the case. When she went to one of these schools doing this presentation, Shannon had a young boy from the school, approach her after the presentation. He had snuck away from his class and his friends. And he said he really liked her books, but he didn't want anyone to know because he was embarrassed because everyone made him feel like if the main character was a girl, then it was a girl book. And that just kind of hit me that as a society, we've planted these seeds of shame in boys for reading books that have a main character that's a girl, whereas that isn't the case for girls. We've generally grown up reading books that have boys as main characters. We need to understand that doing this robs kids of opportunities to grow empathy and develop holistic views of themselves and others. Some of the solutions to this problem are for us as adults to set a good example of reading and providing a diverse selection of books and not constrain them and not make them feel like there are girl books or boy books. There are just books. We need to let kids read what they want and support healthy, balanced reading habits. There's no such thing as girl books and boy books, only good books. And it's our job as parents and leaders to remember that and not perpetuate gender bias in children's literature.